I'm going to start with my darks. And since I already have the warm is there already, and this is a pretty cool painting image. So I'm going to do like a dark, I'm going to mix some kind of blackish color with my blue.
Now your palette and your oils, it looks like you have a warm and a cool of each.
Yeah,
Color?
that was Carol Maureen's influence. I have her to thank for curing me of my oil phobia. I had really bad experiences in college with, you know, I never could have mixed little bits of colors like this. I'd wind up with a pile about this big and with this ugly gray color because I'd be like, oh no, now it's too much this and it needs more of this and oh but no. So that's why I just stuck with pastel later on in life. Just glazing some couple of mixed blues over the brown that's already here. And it's just kind of darkening it up. Probably
Are you
needs,
using a medium?
I was using the Gamsol, but I probably should be putting this on a little bit thicker.
Do you do the background first or just work all over?
I just kind of work all over. I haven't been doing enough oil to really have a definitive process that I follow. So I'm just kind of winging it here. I mean, I know what needs to get done. It needs to get colored, right? So
Yeah.
I'm coloring
Oh,
it.
we're not supposed to use that word.
Coloring it.
What percentage of your artwork that you create is oil compared to pastel?
5% maybe. Lately it's less than that because this is the first oil, that and this are the first oil paintings I've done, and like, I did read somewhere, I don't remember where, but I read on some blog, some art related place about how you can make a painting, you can make an oil painting with just umber, burnt umber, and ultramarine blue.
I
And I
bet.
saw some examples, I'm like, I could do that, you know?
How did they go green?
The umber is your yellow.
Okay.
If you, and white, okay, and white also, so you can lighten up.
That still doesn't read green to me.
Yellow and
But value is more important than color. And you can still make
there you
painting
go.
that has what it needs with just the ultramarine blue. And
How'd the masters do it,
yeah, exactly.
So you're thinking you're not really covering up
If you
your,
want to cool down your.
Yeah, no, I start off just kind of glazing and letting the values that are there work for me, and I'm slowly making my way through the.
I gotta try mine.
So you're still in the blue, right?
Yeah, I'm doing this under there. And so this blue, the lighter blue is dimming down, and so I'm using that phenomenon to put the other strokes down here, which are slightly darker, because I picked up, I was like that, and then I went over there.
so it's not
So-
dry.
Yeah, because it's wet, and so I can manipulate a little bit.
Before I'm done. And I don't
You
know
go
if it's
out
because
just
it's
to take
cheap paint
photos,
or
like have a
because
day,
they're-
today's photo day. And
No, I just had, like, when I go places, when I'm going somewhere for a purpose other than to take photos, I just take the camera everywhere.
Okay.
And I drive with it in my lap.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
But
I
you
set it on the
stop-
dash.
But you stop before you take the photo?
Not always. In fact, not usually. Only if there's something really, like if there's animals in the field, I'll go around and back and pull over and get out. But if it's a pretty sunset or a landscape or hills, and I'm just like, snap, 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 snap. You know, going to that rapid shot mode is like,
Love it.
I'll never have another camera without that mode. Because
Good to know.
when you're going over the bridge and you see the river and you're like, and then I have to turn around and go back, and depending on how busy the traffic is, maybe I can slow down a little bit, but I'm just like, roll the window down, keep the camera on, I'm approaching the bridge again, snap, 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 snap. And so as you move along, you get all the different viewpoints of this river. and then when I get home and I look through all my photos, I can say, ooh, yeah, no, and crop in or whatever. Going off here, is this value right with that? And I've got the photo right here, and for some reason when I'm doing these goals, I lay the background in last. I don't know why.
Okay. You like it?
Well, probably because of that cleaning the brush thing, you know.
Oh,
It's like I'm working color to color so that I can clean the brush as infrequently as possible.
We're talking about price of the square inch.
Oh, right.
I've gotten to the point like with the body of my work, and I keep a list in my computer sizes, and I did all the math like on my calculator, and it's sort of a sliding scale. The small ones, anything like 10 by 10, 12 by 12, and up. You know, so 144, 150 square inches and up is right at about $4. So my 5x5, my 5x7s and 6x6s had gone up from, I think when I started, they were about 125, 150, something like that. But then they kept going up because that was like the most of my work that I was producing was that size.
Is that
And it was
framed then?
Framed, yes. And
Ready
so
to
they
go.
would sell a lot. I would sell a lot of them because I had a lot of them, and it was the price was right for people, and the size was right. Well, read your list. Why paint small? So those price of that, I could keep nudging that up as more of them sold.
Okay.
And, you know, and it'd be like I'd do another art fair, and I'm like, well, last time I was here, they were 150, and I was sold almost all of them. So I think I need to bump that up maybe 175. And as they still kept selling, you know, it just. So now they're at 250, basically, or 249, depending on where I'm at, and they're right about to be put at 265. But I tried that at one art fair I was at, and they didn't go, so I put them back down at 250 the next day. Sometimes I'll take a couple different price tags for certain items.
Yeah.
And just
Or
see,
mark
but
on
usually-
sale, you know.
No, never do that.
You'll never do
No,
that.
never say no. At a fine art fair, you don't want to price that way. Art buyers, they want to, and it took me a long time to understand the psyche of the wealthy client, well, art buyer collector. They'll almost value something more, depending on what their income bracket is. Actually, they'll value it more if the price is higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they won't buy something that's priceless. First time I ever had, I'll try to paint and talk. First time I ever had that experience was in Austin. I got pulled off the wait list way back. It was like, this might have been the first year that I ever started doing art fairs, or maybe the second year. And all I had done up to that point was smaller town stuff, you know, where like my little 3x5s, I had priced like $49, like right under the $50 mark, and they were like hopping off the wall. So I had some like that size when I got into this show in Austin, and I thought, well, I've heard good things about this show. I probably should put the price up a little higher. So I put them at 75, that size. This was way back in like 07 or 2008 or 2007, something like that. And I had people coming in, like this one lady, she'd come in and she'd look at my painting, one of those little 3x5s, and matted and framed.
What's wrong with it?
And she'd say, "Are these prints?" Because she couldn't believe that an original would only be $75. And she didn't say that, but I read between her lines what she didn't say. And it's like, everything on the wall is original. She was like, She'd look around for a few more moments, and then she'd leave, and she didn't buy anything. And the only things I sold, actually, at that fair, I only sold to my previous clients who had come because I sent them a postcard, who were used to the prices that I had. You know, not here, they were a little bit higher, but, you know, they bought some stuff. I didn't get any new clients at that art fair. So I learned from that, you know, and then when I went around to look at the other artists and saw what they had, you know, something exquisite little paintings, $300, you know. I'm like, way underpriced for this market.
If we don't value it, they won't
What color are
value
you
it.
putting on? Is that an
This is
ultramarine?
it's the ultramarine with white, yeah. on a slightly dirty brush. So it's not completely pure, but.
And is it picking up any of the color behind, or did you wipe enough off that it's
No, well,
just dry?
this was all dry this morning.
Okay.
All completely dry, all the umber from yesterday.
And that's the gesso board.
Yeah. So I'm just, I'm putting it on not too thickly, spreading it out, trying to let a little of that umber sort of,
Now, can you pick it up and let some of that show through, that brown?
no, the brown is all completely dry from
But,
yesterday.
I mean, you can pick up the blue in that brown.
Oh, let's see,
I bet you could.
It's dry.
maybe, yeah. If I used another brush,
You're just gonna leave that gold on the underneath belly and not even worry about it, are you?
well, right now it looks like it's gonna do fine.
Yeah.
Kind of blood black.
What I kind of don't like is that I have that same yellow up here, because I kind of saw, so before I'm done, I'm probably going to go back over that with something else. 'Cause it works down here, but it doesn't work down here and up there at the same time. It doesn't make sense. That same,
On the texture on the bird's different, so it doesn't.
We talked about, I think it was one of the fairs or rodeos or something you were painting. You got all those things ready so you could paint there?
oh, yeah, when I go like, and do like my caricatures or whatever somewhere on a weekend, I like to take that becomes like my little painting day. I couldn't get into the studio all week, but I got in there long enough to make some underpaintings, and then I'll take a bunch of those with me when I do caricatures, and in between the caricatures, during the slow times, I'll have my box and I'll paint.
Do people come watch that?
Sometimes.
Do you do that at the regular art fairs, or do you find that's distracting?
At the regular art fairs, I will sometimes do that. Well, usually what happens is that I'll just put up my little box with my easel, and I'll put something on there like a portrait, one of the little portraits, like in progress. I have one at home that I'm finally going to just retire her because she just got overworked. That I have been putting out at art fairs for like 3 years. The same one, because I'll set it up and just leave it there. I won't actually work on it. I'll just have it like there, like as if
You were.
I'm working on it, but just not at this exact moment that you came up to talk to me. So, but it's nice to have this there, so people can see the pastels, and I get a lot of kids coming up. And after a while, they get all mixed up because people are picking them up and putting them down. I don't. Problem with working off an iPad or some other device with a screen that is lit like this is that you get your lights,
False light.
colors that are just so you can't replicate that with paint. Let me try some. Not staying within my lines. That I've painted.
So she stays in lines, she colors.
Traces.
Yeah. Everyone asks why she did it, because I like it.
Do you have a box of 8 or a box of 24?
What? I had the whole box of 64.
Oh!
With the pencil sharpener?
I wanted one of those so bad.
I envy that. I never had a pencil.
That's why you're an artist.
I only had a box of 16.
Those boxes even had gold and silver.
Yeah, and they had gold and silver.
All
I
those
finally got
fancy
one when I
names
bought
like
it
periwinkle
when I was
and-
little.
Yeah.
And I loved the copper.
Well, one day when I was in Walmart, you could buy a thing where you could make your own crayons.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So have I done it yet? No. But I thought
you
it was
got the
kind of a fun
box.
thing. It was on sale.
True artist, Mary. We had a box.
5 minutes and then they break.
I painted with what?
You were talking about the gal that you painted with early in your career, and then you went to work with her.
Emily Kristoff is her maiden name, and actually that's what she goes by, Emily Kristoff. If you look her up, Christoff. Her new last name is Flowers, so she's Emily Christoff Flowers. She has a nice style.
I think I might today.
She was the lead portrait artist at Cedar Point when I started in '86, and I learned how to do 5-minute portrait sketch by watching her. And I watched her so intently every time I worked with her that by the end of the summer, by the end of my first summer, she was a third-year artist, and I was first year. And my sketches started looking so much like hers that the cashier had to look at our signatures to figure out if this was a Rita or if it was an Emily.
Wow.
So-
You're at Cedar Point. Okay, cool. I can picture that.
And what medium did you use then?
Cheap chalks, mostly.
That could be word.
Prang, lectures, and a little bit of new pastel in there, but mostly prang. And then the lectures chalk with the big blocks, and you'd get the brown on your finger and you'd lay it in for the shading. And it was like bam, bam, bam. It's a process. You learned how to do the process of portrait, so you could do it in 5 minutes or less. But hey folks, this is why I'm a pastel artist. Because they're quicker. I just need a little more time painting with oils. Well, you get the idea.
Thank you.
Do you plan on doing more oils, or just kind of keeping
I
your balance?
plan on all kinds of stuff. Intentions are, dimes.
Do you have a certain brand of oil paint that you prefer over?
Oh, not really. I mean, my first oil paints that I took to the Carol Marine workshop were just, I found out later, I bought them at Hobby Lobby, and they were the Winton, which is the Windsor in student quality. And then she said, don't, actually, she didn't really say it. But I took another little oil workshop with one of our local ladies, and she made a note of that. Buy the good quality. Carol Marine likes the Utrecht, yeah, and or the M. Graham. I went and splurged and ordered some. So most of these on here are M. Graham paints, but honestly, I can't tell the difference because I don't have a little painter. Enough.
A little more fluid than
I suppose I should do some of that yellow on the top, like I said I would.
some years ago. The linseed oil is toxic, the walnut oil.
What I wish I had done, what I kind of intended to do, was leave a lot of that show through up there, because it looks like that's kind of that color, and just glazing the blues over, but it didn't really work. So see if I can. That yellow is really invasive. See,
I have a nervous tick again that trip.
I'm gonna call it done.
Part of it, you just use a ray.
Okay, well, you wanted to see me.
And if you
I've
change
learned
it,
to go over my
just
painting
take
with
it
oil
away.
paint.
Well, I
And
used to hide it. I used to hide my turpentine and
I would
dye
still see it
because
thin,
I
though,
would
isn't
get
it?
in it
You have
constantly.
it blocked on.
And I do better, I just wipe it off.
It's
I
not
mean, the
that
turpentine,
thick.
well, I don't use.
I bet it
any
would be
of my
dry
sister's
pretty much
clean
by
turpentine.
tomorrow, wouldn't it?
Well, I don't know, maybe not. I did use a lot of the
Look at that.
turf here instead of the.
Colors are laying on thicker
Is that just regular food?
It's
So,
the
to
Gamsol.
go over.
Recommended by Carol Marine, so I bought some.
Okay. Yeah.